In 2002, Lincoln released a pickup that was supposed to revolutionize the truck market. The Lincoln Blackwood had everything: utility, luxury, and advanced features. But instead of becoming the future of luxury trucks, it became a commercial disaster, becoming the rarest Lincoln ever made. But here's what's crazy. Every luxury truck you see today, from the Raptor R to the TRX, follows the exact template this failed truck created. So how did Lincoln accidentally predict the future while simultaneously destroying their own success? To answer this, we need to go back to 1999, when Lincoln was riding the highest wave of success in decades. Their Navigator SUV had done the impossible. Not only did it become Lincoln's second best-selling model, but it actually helped Lincoln overtake Cadillac in sales for the first time ever. But here's the thing about success. It makes you hungry for more. And Lincoln decided to make one of the boldest moves ever. They wanted to build something the automotive world had never seen before. A truck that would combine F-150 utility with town car luxury. This was an insane idea, but the response? Nearly universal approval. Everyone wanted it. But you have to understand the context here. By 2000, pickups were transforming from work vehicles into family vehicles. Ford had just launched the Super Crew, prioritizing comfort over pure utility. The timing seemed perfect, right? Lincoln had the momentum, they had the platform, and they had public demand. What could possibly go wrong? Well, here's the thing. Sometimes being first means you're the one who discovers all the ways things can go catastrophically totally wrong. When the curtain finally lifted, it wasn't what most people expected. Completely black exterior, no other color options. Some critics weren't so kind, saying it resembled the preferred vehicle of a funeral director. But beneath that somber exterior was something no one saw coming. The cargo bed featured genuine dark wenchwood trim, giving it the appearance of fine furniture rather than a work truck. This was unlike anything anyone put on a pickup truck. And then you open the door. Remember, this is 2002. Most truck interiors were vinyl bench seats and plastic dashboards. The Blackwood, though, had 4 individual bucket seats wrapped in the same leather used in Rolls-Royce vehicles. The technology was equally mind-blowing for its time. A standard navigation system when most people had never seen GPS, climate-controlled seats, and real dark oak wood trim throughout the cabin. Lincoln had essentially taken the interior of a town car and somehow made it work in a pickup truck. But the real innovation was still hidden in the back, because Lincoln wasn't just building a luxury truck, they were reimagining what a truck could be. But the stakes couldn't be any higher. This cargo bed would either make this vehicle legendary or destroy everything they'd worked for. Why? Because the Blackwood didn't have a pickup bed. Instead, Lincoln created something that had never existed before. A fully enclosed, carpeted cargo area that looked more like a trunk of a luxury sedan. It even had LED lights that automatically turned on when you opened it. But here's where it gets truly wild. Lincoln didn't just put a cover on it. They created a power-operated cover that you could control from inside the cabin or even from your key fob while walking toward the truck. And the access? Forget the traditional drop-down tailgate. Lincoln installed split Dutch doors that open outward like barn doors, making it easier to load your cargo. The engineering was incredible. The materials were premium, and the technology was years ahead of its time. Lincoln had created the world's first luxury truck storage system. But there was just one tiny problem with this. You couldn't throw a couch in there. You couldn't load lumber. Basically, you couldn't do any of the 1,000 things that people actually buy pickup trucks to do.
Planks of wood or bags of cement. I mean, that's just not going to happen.
Lincoln had created the world's most luxurious, impractical truck bed in history. But maybe, just maybe, Lincoln could overcome the cargo bed controversy with sheer performance. After all, if you're going to build a luxury truck that can't haul cargo, it better be able to haul everything else. And on paper, the Blackwood did look promising. Lincoln installed a sophisticated 5.4-liter V8, the same power plant that was making the Navigator a success. Premium power for a premium truck, and the numbers seemed respectable enough. 0 to 60 in 9.2 seconds, which wasn't blazing fast but was adequate for a luxury vehicle. It could tow 8,700 pounds, which was more than enough for a boat or travel trailer. Lincoln even went the extra mile with the suspension. They added air springs to smooth out the ride and make it feel more like a luxury sedan than a work truck. But here's where Lincoln made another mistake that would come back to haunt them. In an era where four-wheel drive was becoming expected on premium trucks, Lincoln offered the Blackwood with rear-wheel drive only. So now you had a luxury truck that couldn't go off-road and could barely reach highway speeds. And then, finally, reality hit Lincoln like a freight train. Remember all that enthusiasm we spoke about before? Well, when the production model finally rolled into dealerships in 2002, something had gone terribly wrong. In its entire production run, Lincoln sold only 3,383 Blackwoods. To put that into perspective, Ford was selling more F-150s than that every single week. The Blackwood had become the rarest and shortest produced Lincoln model in the company's entire history. Lincoln had no choice but to pull the plug. But here's the thing that really stings. This wasn't supposed to happen. But the big problem is Lincoln wasn't alone. Cadillac launched their Escalade EXT in the same year as the Blackwood with a similar concept. But they made one crucial difference. They understood that luxury truck buyers still needed their trucks to work like trucks. So the EXT had a real truck bed and offered all-wheel drive as an option. And most importantly, it was cheaper than the Blackwood. Because let's be frank about the Blackwood. It cost nearly $95,000 in today's money for a pickup truck that couldn't go off-road and came only in one color. Lincoln had created a vehicle that was too luxurious for truck buyers and too truck-like for luxury buyers. They'd found the exact spot in the market where nobody wanted to be. But the story of the Blackwood does take an unexpected turn, because sometimes the biggest failures create the most lasting legacies. 20 years later, something remarkable happened. Walk through any luxury truck lot today and you'll see the Blackwood's DNA everywhere. Lincoln had been right about one thing. There was a massive demand for luxury pickup trucks. They just arrived about 15 years too early. The irony was almost poetic. While Lincoln was perfecting carpeted cargo beds, the market was learning to want exactly what they were offering. Those 3,000 Blackwoods that nobody wanted, they're now selling at auction for up to $45,000. Now, Lincoln would try again in 2006 with the Mark LT. This was a more conventional luxury truck that sold better. But the problem is, by then the competition had already learned from the Blackwood's mistakes. They offered luxury without sacrificing utility. The student had become the teacher. Today, though, the Blackwood occupies a unique place in automotive history. It's the truck that failed so spectacularly that it taught everyone else how to succeed. It's a reminder that sometimes being first isn't about winning. It's about showing others the way forward. The Lincoln Blackwood was the truck that was too early to succeed, but just early enough to matter.